Good evening and welcome to the Weekly Voice, presented by VNN, bringing you today's top 10 Canadian news stories on July 4th, 2025. Let's get started. Get ready for a scorcher. Environment Canada has issued a heat warning across southern Ontario, including Toronto, Brampton, Mississauga, and Hamilton. Daytime highs are expected to hit 33 degrees C, with humidex values pushing the feels-like temperature close to 40 degrees C. Officials are urging residents to stay cool, hydrated, and indoors where possible. This marks the second heat alert in just 2 weeks, and with overnight lows barely dropping, there's little relief in sight. Cities like Hamilton are opening cooling centers to help vulnerable residents. While most Canadians are sitting out the housing market, the ultra-wealthy are doubling down on luxury real estate. In cities like Toronto and Montreal, homes priced over $10 million are moving quickly. Wealthy buyers see real estate as a stable, tax-efficient asset and a hedge against stock market volatility. These high-end properties aren't just status symbols, they're long-term financial strategies. With limited supply and global portfolios backing their decisions, Canada's richest are staying active while others wait on the sidelines. Peel Regional Police have arrested a 21-year-old Millgrove man after seizing firearms, opioids, cocaine, and thousands in cash during a raid. The investigation, which began last December, targeted a GTA-wide drug trafficking operation linked to an alleged street gang. Multiple firearm charges, trafficking counts, and possession offenses were laid. The accused is being held pending a bail hearing in Brampton. Authorities say the bust is part of ongoing efforts to disrupt organized crime in the region. Looking for a wild weekend getaway? Just an hour outside Toronto, African Lion Safari continues to offer Canada's only drive-through safari experience, with over 1,000 exotic animals, including elephants, rhinos, and giraffes. Visitors can take in shows, boat cruises, and even hand-feed giraffes during the exclusive Wake Up the Wild tour. Founded with a mission of wildlife conservation, the park remains a major summer attraction for families and tourists alike. Over 1,700 people with criminal records have been granted entry to Canada since 2014, according to new data from IRCC. Rehabilitation applications, required for admissibility, are reviewed on a case-by-case basis with strict standards. Officials emphasize that public safety is the top priority and that most approved applicants have minor offenses. Experts also warn against alarmism, noting that Canada's laws on inadmissibility remain far stricter than in the US. The practice has existed for decades under immigration law. Canada's housing market is in flux, and opinions are split. In a viral Reddit thread, Canadians debated whether to buy now or wait out the high interest rates and inflated prices. Some are playing it safe, renting and investing instead. Others warn that waiting could mean missing out as prices climb again. While listings are up and prices have softened in places like Toronto, affordability remains tight. RBC reports the average mortgage eats up 60% of a household's income. Whether it's smart to jump in or sit tight depends on your goals. But one thing is clear: there's no one-size-fits-all answer in this housing market. Once known as Vancouver's Little India, the Punjabi market is losing its cultural and commercial heartbeat. Long-time businesses are shutting down, and foot traffic has nearly vanished. Rising costs and shifting demographics have pushed many South Asian families to suburbs like Surrey, leaving behind shuttered shops and fading memories. Business owners like Mona Cloth House's Madan Dhingra say the decline feels irreversible. What was once a thriving community hub now faces the risk of disappearing altogether. Canada is racing to build new polar-class icebreakers as Arctic conditions grow more unstable. Melting ice might sound like smooth sailing, but it actually creates more danger. That's why Canada is investing $3.15 billion into a 520-foot mega icebreaker, alongside US and Finnish efforts to expand their fleets. With Russia and China already far ahead in Arctic strategy, the stakes are high, not just for safety and science, but for global influence in the north. Canada and India are deepening their ties, economically, diplomatically, and culturally. With nearly 2 million Canadians of Indian origin and almost 400,000 Indian students in Canada, the people-to-people connection is stronger than ever. Bilateral trade hit $30.9 billion last year, with growth in clean tech, agriculture, and digital industries. From science and education to air travel and trade, this partnership is evolving into one of Canada's most globally significant relationships. Facing industry pushback and trade tensions with the US, Ottawa may ease up on its ambitious electric vehicle sales targets. Automakers argue the current 2026 benchmark is unrealistic, especially after Canada scrapped the federal rebate earlier this year. Prime Minister Carney met with major automakers this week and signaled openness to adjusting the mandate. With jobs, exports, and climate goals in the mix, the government is walking a tightrope between green ambition and economic reality. That's all for today's top stories. Thank you for joining us on The Weekly Voice, presented by VNN. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you next time.